Welcome to Reflections, a program where we discuss values and virtues for the transformation of the individual and the society in general. I am Father George Ehusani, and I am in the studio with a young man, Yusuf Umar. Yusuf Umar, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yusuf Umar is from Numan in Adamawa State. He's a volunteer with UNFPA, United Nations Fund for Population Activities. He is a volunteer with them, working with host communities, with victims of violence in host communities. But sometimes you also visit IDPs.
Yeah, sometimes
Good.
I also visit IDP camps,
Great.
like the Malkohi camp and others.
Great. And you offer psychosocial support. Yusuf came to Luxtera to attend the basic course on psychotrauma healing, basic course in psychotrauma healing, so that he can be more effective in his work in the psychosocial support that he gives to victims of violence in Adamawa State. So tell us about what you, the environment, the issue of the violence, and what you do, your intervention.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Yusuf Umar, as he said, from Adamawa State, Numan Local Government. I'm a volunteer with United Nations Population Fund. I work with host community in Numan. So this training that we attend in Luxtera, it was very wonderful. And I've attended many training, but this one is a different one. I've achieved a lot. I've achieved more than what I've expected.
Is that so?
And it has touched my life. I didn't even know that I have some part of trauma in me until I attend the Luxtera Foundation.
Okay, you are going around healing people of trauma. You
didn't even know that,
that
I'm also traumatized in one way or the other. But thank God, I'm also healed, and they say heal people,
heal others.
So I think this training, everybody needs it. Not only we the volunteers or the social workers, everybody needs this training in Nigeria. And it's a very wonderful training. We have learned a lot, the concept of trauma. I have learned the neurobiology of trauma, how trauma affects our lives, our well-being, how it is how it is connected with our health, how it affects the biochemistry of our body, how it triggers some diseases that we never know it is because of that trauma. Because there is there are some cases that you will think someone needs a medical doctor, but that condition is not as a result of those symptoms, but it is as the result of the trauma he is going into.
I see. When somebody is going through trauma and it is not attended to, it can lead to physiological problems.
Many physiological problems, which can, as I learned how it is related to some of the things in our body, for example, like our blood pressure. I learned that when we are traumatized, it can, when you are in fear or anger, the brain can sense a signal into your body, which can be passed to your adrenaline gland to release that hormones in order to fight or to escape. So, and if this event keep on coming into your mind, that hormones will be released.
Will keep being released and in high levels.
And that, for example, imagine someone adrenal hormones being 200 times more than normal. It will cause serious damages because our body is a balance. There is something we call hemostasis. It's all about balance. For example, if there is too much pain, anger, the adrenal gland secretes too much of these hormones, it will raise your blood pressure, and your body normal condition works in a normal range. That is when it is too high, hyper, when it is too low, hypo. So this can cause a lot of problems. It can affect some organs, the pancreas and others. It can also result to many sorts of mental health issues. You can see someone walking around. There was a time, let me share this experience. I saw one woman. Many people think she's mad, but she was not mad. She was holding her baby upside down. She held the leg and the head was down. She was walking, crying. But at that time, I was not into social work, or I don't have this experience. That was 5 years back. So people called the attention of police. She was arrested.
For abusing a child?
For abusing a child. not thinking that she was highly traumatized by some event. Because even animals don't treat their babies like this. This is so. Imagine a human being holding her child upside down. It's because of the trauma. Trauma can do so many things that cannot be emphasized, cannot be overemphasized. We have had many stories of people killing themselves because of depression. And when such things happen, people are depressed, insomnia.
How widespread is this phenomenon of trauma in our society, and particularly in the place you come from, Adamawa? How widespread do you think it is?
I'm from Adamawa State, and particularly Numa local government. And we all know that there are many cases of attack in Numan from 2003, 2004. There are religious crises. People lose their lives, their loved ones. Their homes were burned, many things. And recently there is the issue of herdsman crisis. We did almost 2 years experiencing it since around that November 2017 up to date.
Herdsman crisis.
Herdsman crisis.
And people are still being displaced.
People are still being displaced. Today, one village is attacked, the other day another village is attacked. Today the Bachama people are attacking the Fulani, revenging. Tomorrow the Fulani are also attacking again. Many people are being killed. I know of a Fulani man who lost more than 400 cows and he ran mad. And it's not that he's mad, it's because of the trauma he's gone into. Assuming he have the chance to be counseled, he need the attention of experts. Someone like me that attended this training, I think I can do something, I can change his life. I see many people, they lost their parents, they are just messing around in the community because they have entered into the town because it happened mostly in the village. They are there, some are into prostitution. Some of our young men are getting HIV because of that, because they see cheap ladies. I think what trauma can do, I think is terrible. And we need to stop this. We need counselors. We need clinical psychologists. We need therapists. We need something like Luxtera Foundation everywhere in Nigeria. I think we need that.
So the training, you believe that the training you have had, even though it is only a short training, and you are going to do practical exercises for the next, how long?
For 6 weeks.
For 6 weeks, you are going to do practical exercises. You believe that if many more people have this kind of training, it will be very useful.
Imagine our set now, we're up to 30.
Yes.
Imagine us inside being released into the community. At least each person counseling like 10 people. 10 times 30 is 300. Reducing 300, healing 300 traumatic people, it's not a small thing. And we are the 8th set.
Yes.
So I think this training is very important. Seriously. And I don't, as you said, the training, we did only 5 days, but this 5 days is more than 1 year.
Intensive.
It's very intensive. From 8 to 5 p.m. though we have some break, like tea break, lunch, we have few like some break for us to go and observe our prayers with the Muslims. So I think the facilitators, we have more than 5 professors, we have PhD holders from different universities, from University of Jos, here-based university in Abuja, and from other places. They gave us the best they can. And I'm very grateful to Luxtera Foundation. It has changed my mind. And there is nothing I can say that I will explain how glad I am. Because I never thought there are people in Nigeria that will come up with something like this. We always depend on these Europeans, people from America, from England coming. I never thought there are people in Nigeria like Father George and Professor Andrew Zamani can bring something like this that can touch the life of people.
Thank you for your compliments. Now, coming back to let's say the areas that you have studied. You were telling us about the kind of things, the theories and the concepts of trauma, and you did something about the assessment and diagnosis of trauma. So are you now able to do some basic assessment to know that I think this person is traumatized?
Yeah, I think I can.
And then you also know your limits, meaning you know when you cannot handle a case because it's too serious, and what do you do in that case?
There are some cases that you cannot handle because there are different ways we see things. And if you can't handle a case, or it is becoming too serious, or you understand that you are not healing that person,
yes,
I think the best thing you can do is to refer him to someone above you.
Someone more qualified,
someone more qualified, someone more capable, someone that has experience more than you.
Good. So as you go back to Adamawa State, you will now have to be looking for the experts near you, right? Whom you can easily refer
I know many experts because I work with UNFPA. We have our boss, that is Dr. Daladi, who is also an expert. He attends many trainings in Europe and America and the rest. I can refer him. And I know there are people in Luxtera, those that are working with Luxtera, that can refer some client to them because they are very good. They are extra good. Let me put it that.
Great. This training you have had now, let me just ask, in what way can it help even, let's say, your family life? Is it in any way, can it contribute towards richer, better communication, better understanding in your family life?
Let me put it this way. Even me that is here, I'm touched presently because I came here with something troubling me in my mind.
I see.
And attending this training, in just 3 days, I was healed. And there are many things that I normally do. I don't know that it is playing a role into my life. I never thought psychotrauma healing is connected to spirituality.
Oh.
And when I learned that, it was very amazing that our faith,
yes, like your faith as a Muslim, yes,
help us in recovering from some traumas. I do apply it, but I never know that it is related with this training. And there is this issue of forgiveness,
yes,
which is in every religion, the Islam, the Christianity, the Buddhism, every religion. And it happened that something is troubling me. When we did a course on how forgiveness can be used in healing, and how when forgiving someone, you are not doing it for him, you are doing it for yourself. Because you are letting something out of your mind.
Yes.
You will be at ease. And I did it and I feel at ease.
So after you did it, even though the person is not here, right?
Yeah.
You did it and you started feeling peace.
I started feeling peace. That feeling is just gone forever.
Wow, the bitter feeling you had.
The bitter feeling I had.
Thank God for that. We thank God for that.
And
now, in the course of the training, you must have gotten some recommended books and articles to read. So, as you leave, you and your colleagues, any commitment to continue to study these subjects further?
Yeah. There are many books and many things that has been recommended, and we were given the titles of such books. And now that this world is a global village, you can get the soft copies with your phone. You can download them. You can read them on phone, or you can print them if you don't like reading with your phones.
With your phone.
Yeah, I think I'm even that interested that I can attend a course like a diploma or postgraduate diploma
in future. Yes.
In future, and I learned that Luxtera they have the intention of bringing a diploma or postgraduate diploma for such things.
In future, yes.
In future. I think I will be the first person I will be among the first set
to do the diploma course.
Yes.
Now tell us about the colleagues you had. You said you were 30.
Yes.
What kind of configuration? What kind of people were they that came?
Different people from wonderful people, different people from different parts of Nigeria.
And different walks of life.
Different walks of life. We have people from Adamawa State, Borno State, Bauchi, Niger, here in Abuja, Benue, Nasarawa, all over the country.
Yes. And what kind of professions?
We have medical doctors.
Yes.
We have social workers.
Yes.
We have even security men, the policemen. We have a civil defense.
Yes.
We have volunteers. We have people working psychologists, clinical psychologists from different teaching hospitals and federal medical centers. We have founders of organizations and others.
And they all found the training useful.
They found it. Everybody, let me say, everybody, they found it very useful, and we are very grateful to attend this training. We feel honored.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So, as you go home after this training, it means the quality of your psychosocial support will be much better.
It is even better.
Already?
Not will. It is better.
Already.
Because I attended like 3 training. This is the 4th one on psychosocial support and trauma healing. But I think this one is the best. I've learned many things that I've had many information. I've gotten many things. I'm well equipped more than ever and more than before, more than those training that I've attended.
Do you have any advice for our leaders with regards to this violence all over the place that is giving so much problem that you have to volunteer your time to support? Do you have any advice for our leaders as to how to douse the tension in the land to reduce the violence? Any advice?
Just few minutes back, I saw a post by Senator Dino Malai.
Yes.
He was like trying to tell his other politicians that they are in danger, that they are afraid of the attack of the poor, and that they live in a community where the rich are living in one place and the poor are living in the other place.
That was the sermon I preached on Sunday.
So it's like Senator Dino Malai was talking about he's afraid and it is easy for the poor to locate them. For example, imagine the poor people attacking Maitama. There is no poor, everybody is rich there. So it's like all these problems, all this violence that is happening everywhere in Nigeria, northwest, north central, northeast. Yesterday, the governor of Maiduguri is saying Maiduguri is even more peaceful now than Zamfara and Katsina and Abuja because of the issue of kidnapping, bandit attack.
Yes.
So for them to say this, they know that Nigeria is in trouble.
The leaders know that Nigeria is in trouble.
They know Nigeria is in trouble.
What can they do?
I think we have a lot of people that have been traumatized. Healing these people can reduce
the tension
and the violence. Imagine someone who lost his parent, who is a victim of war violence, Boko Haram attack or this bandit attack. He will grow up in pain.
And can be very violent himself.
He is traumatized, so he can be very violent. He is vulnerable to all such of things like substance abuse and other things, alcoholism, drugs and other things, and this will put his life more in danger. Imagine someone who is living on the street. He didn't attend school. He doesn't have any knowledge, any religious knowledge, but the Islam and Christianity, nothing. And the people, you know the kind of life we're living in. People only care about their children. We don't care about the less privileged. He will struggle to survive. And if he have the chance of getting himself into one gang group or the other, or he will be easily being recruited
easily be recruited into those things.
So imagine him holding a gun, pointing at you, and he know that you once had the chance to help him and you couldn't. He will do anything.
So what do you think the government must do urgently?
Government must support such movement, such organization like Luxterra. They should support it. I think Luxterra is supposed to be everywhere, not only here in Abuja. So government should finance such programs, and government should try as much as possible to see how these vulnerable people can be well taken care of. If we go back to the history, if we look at the history of Metesini, he recruited the Almajiri, that is student. Almajiri means student in Hausa.
Yeah.
So people have been taking their children to places that they don't know even who that person is, thinking that they're taking their children to go and learn something. So imagine if that person that is teaching your children is someone who is bad.
Then your children are turned to something else.
And it's a very easy way of recruiting criminals.
Yes.
From the history, Mohammed Metesine
Yes.
is someone who has all these Almajiri teaching them, and later on something bad came up.
Yes.
They kill many people in Nigeria.
Yes, that
And
was
look at the issue of
1982 in Kano and so
look
on.
at the issue of Muhammad Yusuf. He started like he's recruiting, like preaching.
Yes.
Like he has students teaching them. Suddenly the thing started
Yes.
from Boko Haram to something else, to bombing of mosques, churches, public places.
Yes.
People cannot go to hospitals. People cannot go to mosques. People cannot go to church. People are afraid to enter parks. So I think
So
in
it
order,
means-
because there are some countries that such people need license to practice such work. And we have learned of many stories that some of these children, all these Almajiri, are being humiliated. They are being sexually abused.
yeah.
I had a story in Kano that their teacher, the so-called the Islamic teacher, is been taking them to places where they'll be sexually abused because of the things he will be getting. Some of them are not even properly fed. Some of them are not properly clothed. Some of them are working with their clothes half naked. They beg for food. They beg for clothes. They beg for everything.
So the teachers of this Almajiri, they don't have the resources to gather this number of children around themselves.
They don't have the resources. The previous administration, the Goodluck Jonathan, they tried, but they have failed. Sorry to say that, because I don't think there is any Almajiri school that is functioning now. And these children are vulnerable. So these people use that advantage, not only the Almajiri, because people relate it with religion. I'm a Muslim, people relate it with religion.
Yes.
But I don't think it is good to abandon your child. He has a right over you and you have a right over him. I don't think to abandon him. If you want to take him to school, you can give his teacher or the malam money
To train him.
to feed him, to clothe him, and to teach him. But you can't just send your child with just a robber so that he will be begging on the street.
Yeah, it's abuse. It's child abuse.
The world we're living in is not the world that our parents or used to be. I learned that at that time in a community when there are such schools, the people of that community, each family will send food to those children,
Yes.
like 1 plate or 2 plates. So imagine there are more houses than these children in that place where they're learning.
Yes.
So they will get more
food than they need. But things have changed.
Things have changed. So we also have to change. Change is inevitable.
So one recommend
Everybody is now we are living. Someone don't even know his neighbor.
Insular lives now. We're
Insular
now
life.
living, yes.
So how can they help these children?
So it means that one of your recommendations is that perhaps the government, especially in the north, must look into this Almajiri system.
They should look to this Almajiri system. They should look to these victims of this Boko Haram, those that they lost their parents, those that are living, they're just working helter-skelter, they don't know what to do.
Traumatized,
They're
and
traumatized.
no help, no support.
They need support. They need monetary support.
Yes.
And they need also counselors.
Yes. They need
People like us.
Yes.
They need psychotherapists.
Yes.
They need that.
Now, for the future, what else will the government have to do to prevent the emergence of the kind of things we have had like Boko Haram? Apart from, look into the Almajiri system, look into those who are already traumatized, look into psychosocial support, look into financial support. What else would you recommend?
I think the government should try as much as possible equal distribution of wealth.
Thank you. Equal distribution. There's too much. The gap between the rich and the poor is too much.
The gap between the rich and the poor is much. Imagine the labor is fighting for 30,000 minimum wage.
Yes.
And there are people in Nigeria, sorry to say that they are earning millions, 7 figures, and someone just 30,000. How much will you pay for your school fees? For your kids' school fees? How much will you...
And 18,000 that was the minimum wage. There are many state governments that are owing 5, 10 months, 15 months, 20 months.
More than that. Even the 18,000. Some, they have not implemented the 18,000 up to now. Talk less of the 80,000. Some cannot pay the 18,000. You will see a health worker earning government 9 months, 5 months. Can you imagine how the kind of life he's living in?
And how can he's a health worker. How can he help people who are sick when for 9 months he has not earned salary?
He need help.
Umar, this has been wonderful to have you, and I'm happy about the training that you have gotten. Thank you for the very nice words about Luke Terra Leadership Foundation and the training on psychotrauma healing that we have organized. And I look forward to when you will return to Abuja for the graduation. I look forward to when you will return to Abuja to do a higher program, a diploma in psychotrauma healing. Meanwhile, I wish you a very successful period and fulfillment as you help people who are traumatized in Adamawa State, particularly in Numan. One of these days, I'll visit you in Numan.
Thank you very much, sir.
God bless you.
It's wonderful with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.